Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day. And today, the Texas Longhorns have beat number 25 Vanderbilt 27-24. Good win for Texas. As a Longhorns fan going into this season, I didn't see this matchup as being this close of a game. I mean, I didn't think Texas was going to blow Vandy through the water, speaking because of the fact that it was speaking of the fact that it was a road game for Texas, but going into the season, I didn't think this was going to be a game for Texas where you'd have to fight for the end and be only a 3-point win for Texas. I was thinking maybe in the area of at least a 2-score win for Texas, if not more, going into the season. But Vanderbilt has shocked a lot of people this year. We saw them beat Alabama. We've seen them play good outside of the Alabama win. They also beat Kentucky, a really good defense. Vanderbilt has done really good this year and also were able to get back into the top 25 in over a decade. Now, unfortunately, after this loss to Texas, even though I wanted my Longhorns to win, it is unfortunate that now you see Vanderbilt out of the top 25. That's the only thing I hate about Texas winning this game, is that Vandy, who's been so good this year, is now going to be out of the top 25, getting their third loss. But, you got to do what you got to do to get a win. But I did not expect it to be this close of a game. And Vandy should get their credit that, they did compete with a great Texas team. And there is no way that Vandy will stay in the top 25, speaking that they just lost, even though it was a great team and it was a close game. They were number 25. If they were 22 or 23, I think there would be a really solid chance they'd stay in. But since they're number 25, they are not going to stay in. But I think they're gonna get some votes, and with this competitive game that they just played against Texas, I think it's not going to be very hard for Vanderbilt to get right back in to the top 25. But let's go over the scoring summary. Wait, also one more thing I want to say before we get into the scoring summary is one crazy fact about this game that it just kind of blows my mind a little bit, that this was Texas' third-ranked matchup this year, obviously playing this was like Texas' fourth-ranked matchup this year. They've matched up against Michigan. They're no longer ranked, but they are, they were ranked. They matched up against Georgia, who was ranked. They matched up against Oklahoma, who were ranked. Obviously, Oklahoma's not ranked anymore. And then they've matched up against Vanderbilt, who's ranked. So 4 ranked matchups for Texas this year alone. This was Vanderbilt's this was their third or fourth ranked matchup since 1960. So that's a crazy comparison right there. But Vanderbilt has shocked a lot of people this year, and I think they're going to continue doing that. Just because you lose one game or now your third game, it was a great team. I think they're going to continue to impress people. They're going to bounce back. But getting into the scoring summary, Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt striked first. 18-yard run for a TD for Pavia at 7-0, but Quinn Ewers threw a 3-yard touchdown pass, 7-7. Quinn Ewers would then throw a touchdown. The first touchdown pass was to Marcus Golden. Then a touchdown pass to Moore Jr. for 27 yards, 14-7. And then another touchdown pass to Moore Jr. for 25 yards for a TD, 21-7. Keep in mind, no Isaiah Bond. That definitely hurts this offense, but Quinn Ewers was definitely hitting up Moore Jr. He had almost 100 receiving yards in this game. Then their kicker, Taylor, hits a 54-yard field goal going into halftime, 21-10. Then Brett Arburn with a 40-yard field goal to make it 24-10 in the third quarter. Dylan Raiola. Diego Pavia with a touchdown pass to Sherrill for a 3-yard touchdown. It's 24-17. Brett Arburn with another field goal, 23 yards, 27-17. That really locked the deal up for Texas. Vanderbilt still had a chance. It would take a miracle, but with 1 minute and 57 seconds, there was not a great chance for Vandy, knowing you needed 2 scores. They did get that 1 score with a touchdown pass to Stowers for an 8-yard touchdown pass, another touchdown pass for Pavia. That was 3 touchdown passes and runs for Pavia today. Two in the air, 1 with his legs. That was the second touchdown pass for Pavia, 27-24. They were not able to get the onside kick, and Texas gets the win. Game leaders, Quinn Ewers, 27-37. The crazy thing is this was Quinn's best game since coming back from being injured, and it wasn't even a great game. He threw 2 picks. That was the bad part. But threw 27 for 37, 288 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He has to be better. The interceptions are happening way too much. We saw some great throws from Quinn. We saw some great accuracy, but there's a lot of yards you see right there, but a lot of yards, a lot of screen passes for Texas that were working in their favor. We did see a couple deep touchdown passes to Moore Jr. that were some great throws by Quinn, but a lot of deep, they'll run a lot of deep shots for Quinn in this game. You had the couple touchdown passes to Moore Jr. There were a couple other throws that he had that were, great throws, big chunkage yards, but there were a lot of screen passes, great runs by some of Texas's running backs and wide receivers in this game that helped Quinn get a lot of yards, get to 288. So he looked good, but he looked bad at the same time. But at the same time, I also felt like he looked the best he's looked since coming back from injury. But going forward, if Texas wants to be better and win bowl games easier, and especially as the opponents will get harder, Texas, needs Quinn to play better football and cut down the interceptions. All right, Diego Pavia, 16 for 29, 143 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rushing yards, Wisner, 17 carries, 79 rushing yards. Diego Pavia, 16 carries, 67 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving yards, Moore Jr., 6 receptions, 97 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Sherrill, 5 receptions, 62 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Scored some other stats outside of Quinn, Travion, Wisner. Jaden Blue had 10 carries for 47 rushing yards. Jaden Blue was really active on the receiving end, 3 receptions for 24 receiving yards. Outside of DeAndre Moore Jr. with his leading 97 receiving yards, Gunnar Helm, one of probably my favorite tight end in the country. Of course, 4 receptions, 46 receiving yards. Quintravion Wisner, 5 receptions, 39 receiving yards. So, as you see, there was a lot of throws to, there was a lot of throws to screen passes to running backs. Silas Bolden had a couple nice screen pass catches, two receptions for 31 receiving yards. He had his longest reception for 24 yards was off of a screen pass. Anybody else that I'm missing? That was really it. I mean, Ryan Wingo had 3 receptions for 20 receiving yards. Amari Nyblack had 2 receptions for 22 receiving yards, and that was really it for Texas's on the receiving end. There was a fumble in this game. It was by Cedric Alexander, and it was recovered by Trey Moore. Tackles, Texas was led by Anthony Hill Jr., who had 8 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. 2 tackles for loss, 1 for Jermaine Lowell, and then the other for Jelani McDonald. No sacks for Texas. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt had 4 sacks in this game. Way too many sacks given up by Texas's O-line, if you ask me. Back-to-back weeks where Texas's O-line, or really 3 weeks, the Texas O-line struggles. A couple of interceptions for Texas in this game, which was great. Leona LaFou with an interception that he returned for 6 yards, and Michael Taffy with an interception, which he returned for 9 yards. But at the same time, Vandy had 2 interceptions as well. But look at it. The way I look at it is, Pavia is a good quarterback, but Quinn Ewers is a way better quarterback, and to me, it's way more unacceptable for Quinn Ewers to throw 2 interceptions than Pavia. Also, because Quinn's a way better quarterback than Pavia is, has more passer skill. Pavia is way better on the run than the pass. And not only that, but Texas is a top 5 team. Meanwhile, Vandy's a top 25, right at 25, and not going to even be ranked after this game. And also I'm a Texas fan, so I really care about Quinn making turnovers compared to Pavia. Even though I like Pavia and I like Vandy, I want to see them have success. I care much more about Quinn than not turning the ball over than Pavia. So I think the interceptions these last couple weeks have been a concern. Was a concern last week against Georgia, although I gave it the excuse that it was Georgia. But for Quinn to throw 2 interceptions in this game, really bad. And the first one was on the first drive, which led to a touchdown. So Quinn needs to be better. Even though this was a good game, he needs to be better. And Texas will be fine. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out.